You've been lied to about what makes a man attractive, and deep down, you've felt it. Because you've seen men who don't have the best looks, money, or status, yet somehow, women gravitate toward them like there's an invisible force pulling them in. It's confusing, almost frustrating. But what if I told you there's one trait, just one, that quietly makes a man magnetic, and most men completely overlook it? It's not confidence in the way you think. It's not dominance. And it's definitely not trying harder. It's emotional self-possession. And here's the part most people don't realize. You can feel it instantly when a man has it. It's in the way he doesn't rush to impress you. The way he listens, not to respond, but to understand. The way he doesn't get thrown off balance when you test him, challenge him, or even pull away. There's a groundedness about him. Like he's fully there, but not trying to grab onto you. And that does something to you. Because most interactions you've had, they're filled with subtle tension. Men trying to prove themselves, trying to say the right thing, trying to win you over. And you can feel that pressure, even if it's unspoken. It creates resistance. But a man with emotional self-possession doesn't need to chase your validation. And ironically, that's what makes you lean in. You start wondering what he's thinking, why he's so calm, why he's not reacting the way others do. And without realizing it, you begin investing emotionally, trying to understand him. Because here's the truth. Attraction isn't just about what a man does. It's about how he makes you feel about yourself when you're around him. And when a man is emotionally self-possessed, he creates a space where you feel seen, but not pressured, curious, but not overwhelmed, drawn in, without knowing why. But there's a deeper layer to this, something even more powerful that most men completely miss. And once you see it, you won't be able to unsee it. There's a moment, subtle, almost invisible, where attraction either deepens or quietly dies, and most men have no idea it's happening. It's the moment when a woman emotionally leans in, and instead of holding his center, he shifts. He starts adjusting, overthinking, trying to secure what he feels might slip away. And just like that, the dynamic changes. Not dramatically, not obviously, but enough for her to feel it. Because emotional self-possession isn't just about being calm on the surface. It's about what happens inside you when things become uncertain. When she takes longer to reply, when her tone changes, when she pulls back just slightly. Most men react. They chase, they question, they try to fix. But the man who is truly magnetic does something different. He stays rooted in himself. And that's where the real power lies. You see, a woman doesn't just respond to your words or your actions. She responds to your emotional stability. She's constantly, unconsciously asking one question. Do I feel safe being emotionally open around this man? Or will I have to manage his reactions too? And when a man lacks emotional self-possession, she feels that weight. She feels like she has to be careful, to not trigger insecurity, to not disrupt his emotional state. And slowly, she pulls back. But when you don't collapse under uncertainty, when you don't lose yourself trying to keep her, something shifts inside her instead. She relaxes. She opens. She trusts the space you create. Because now, she's not dealing with a man who needs something from her. She's experiencing a man who is already whole within himself. And that's rare. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Because emotional self-possession doesn't mean being distant or detached like most people assume. In fact, when it's done right, it creates a kind of emotional tension that's almost addictive. And once that tension is there, it changes everything about how she sees you. There's a kind of tension that doesn't come from what you say. It comes from what you don't give away. And this is where emotional self-possession becomes dangerously attractive. Because when you're not constantly revealing, explaining, or trying to be understood, you create space. Space for her imagination. Space for her curiosity. Space for her to lean in and try to figure you out. And that emotional movement, that's what builds real attraction. Most men overexpress too early. They reveal everything, chase clarity, seek reassurance. And it feels safe, predictable, but not exciting. There's no mystery, no pull, no emotional tension to keep her engaged. But when you're self-possessed, you're not hiding. You're simply not performing. You're present, you're real, but you're not trying to control how she sees you. And that subtle difference? It changes the entire dynamic. She starts paying more attention. Not because you demanded it, but because you didn't. She starts noticing the way you pause before you speak, the way you don't rush to fill silence, the way you seem completely okay whether she moves closer or drifts away. And that uncertainty, that lack of predictability, it pulls her deeper. Because now, she's not just experiencing you, she's feeling you, and emotions that aren't forced, that aren't handed to her, always hit deeper. But here's the twist most people never talk about. This kind of presence doesn't just attract her, it tests her. Because when you stop overgiving, when you stop chasing, when you stop trying to secure her attention, she's faced with something unfamiliar. She has to choose, to step closer, or to walk away. And what happens next reveals everything about her level of attraction, her emotional depth, and her true intentions. But there's one final piece to this. The part that determines whether she stays drawn to you or slowly fades, no matter how strong the attraction once was. And almost no one gets this right. And this is where everything either comes together or quietly falls apart. Because emotional self-possession, on its own, creates attraction. But what sustains that attraction is something even deeper. Something most men completely misunderstand. It's emotional availability. Without emotional dependency. This is the balance that separates a man who is intriguing for a moment from a man a woman can't let go of. You see, if you're only self-possessed but emotionally closed off, she'll feel the distance. The mystery will turn into confusion, then disconnection. She'll start to wonder if there's anything real beneath the surface, and eventually, she stops investing. But if you're emotionally available and grounded within yourself, something powerful happens. You allow her to feel you, without losing yourself in her. You express interest, without chasing. You open up, without seeking validation. And that combination, it's rare, almost disarming. Almost. Because now, she doesn't just feel curiosity, she feels safety. Not the boring kind, but the kind that makes her want to drop her guard, to show more of herself, to step closer without fear of losing control. And here's the truth most people avoid. Attraction isn't just about pulling someone in. It's about giving them a reason to stay. And when a man holds his emotional center while still being open, present, and real, he creates an experience most women don't often find. One where they feel seen, felt, and free at the same time. That's the trait. Not loud confidence, not control, not perfection, but a quiet, unshakable presence, combined with just enough emotional openness to let her in, without ever losing himself. And once you truly understand this, you stop chasing attraction altogether, because you become the space it naturally grows in.